For decades, images capturing the raw essence of Native American life were hidden away, censored from public view. These images were considered too revealing, showing moments that challenged the narrative history wanted to tell. But now, these rare glimpses into a forgotten world are ready to be uncovered. Imagine stumbling upon a figure draped in a ceremonial cloak, their face obscured by a mask that seems to peer straight into another world. The details are unsettling, and they leave you wondering, who or what are they honoring? Elsewhere, a canoe glides across still waters, carrying more than just a wedding party. The carved figures at the bow seem to speak of journeys far beyond the physical world, as if the bride and groom are crossing into a realm not visible by most. And then a figure appears, clad in an elaborate costume that blurs the lines between man and something far more menacing. The intricate design, the grotesque mask, it all points to a ritual meant to summon something much larger and much older than we can comprehend. Stay with us as we explore these hidden images and the powerful stories they tell, stories that history tried to erase. In the early 20th century, the spiritual practices of Native American tribes were rich with symbolism, and the Cagul people were no exception. In this image, a Cagul woman stands draped in a fringed chilkat blanket, a garment woven from mountain goat wool and cedar bark, intricately decorated with totemic designs. But what's truly captivating is the mask she wears, a haunting representation of a deceased relative who had been a shaman. The woman, likely engaging in a ritual to honor the shaman's memory, becomes a living bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm. Her stoic posture, combined with the mask's intense, somber gaze, creates an aura of reverence and mystery, pulling us into the sacred traditions of the Cagul. As we leave behind the solemnity of this scene, our journey takes us to a celebration that bridges two worlds, where love and tradition unite under the watchful eyes of the ancestors. Captured in 1914, this photograph depicts a Kwakiutl wedding party arriving by canoe, a scene that marries the majesty of nature with the solemnity of cultural tradition. The canoes, ornately carved and painted, glide across the water. At the bow stands the bride, wrapped in ceremonial garb, her figure a beacon of grace and strength. The Kwakiutl believed that water was not merely a mode of transportation, but a sacred path that connected the world of the living with the spirit world. As the wedding party approaches the shore, it is as if they are emerging from one realm into another, carrying with them the blessings and approval of their ancestors. The reflections in the water symbolize the duality of life, earth and spirit, past and present, coming together in a moment of unity. But the waters are not always calm, because as we move away from this serene scene, we are thrust into the midst of a powerful ritual where a shaman commands the raw forces of nature. In this image, we witness a Kwakiutl shaman in the midst of a sacred ritual, his body adorned with the trappings of his spiritual office. The photograph captures him in a moment of intense focus, his arms raised as if to beckon the spirits. The shaman's face is a portrait of otherworldly concentration, his eyes wide and mouth open as he chants, calling upon the forces that govern life and death. Shamans were the spiritual leaders of the Kwakiutl, believed to possess the ability to communicate with both natural and supernatural beings. The intricate decorations on his body, including the feathered headpiece and cedar bark bracelets, serve not only as symbols of his status, but as tools to channel spiritual energy. The ancient tree behind him, gnarled and weathered, stands as a silent witness to the sacred exchange between the shaman and the unseen forces he invokes. As the shaman's chants intensify, the line between man and spirit fades. But this isn't the only ceremony charged with emotion. In another, a figure is consumed by something far more primal, where man fully becomes myth. Dressed in the fearsome attire of Hami, or the dangerous thing, a Koskimo man embodies the terror and power of this mythical being during the Numlem ceremony. This photograph, taken in 1914, shows the man shrouded in a costume that evokes both awe and fear. The mask, with its grotesque features and exaggerated hands, is designed to instill a deep sense of unease, reminding the community of the forces beyond their control. The numlim ceremony was a time when the boundaries between the natural and supernatural were deliberately blurred. The participants, through their elaborate costumes and performances, channeled the spirits of animals, ancestors, and mythical beings, bringing them to life in a terrifying display of power. As the echoes of the numlim ceremony fade, a new figure emerges, one that doesn't just channel the spirit of an animal, but seems to embody it completely, blurring the line between man and creature. This image portrays a Kwakiutl man wearing a mask that depicts the transformation of a man into a loon, a powerful symbol in Kwakiutl mythology. The loon, known for its haunting calls and deep connection to water, represents a bridge between worlds, just as the mask serves as a bridge between human and animal, the mundane and the mystical. The man's expression, partially obscured by the mask, conveys a sense of becoming, of losing oneself in the spirit of the loon. The mask's design is intricate, with elongated features that mimic the bird's beak and eyes, suggesting the fluidity of identity in Kwakiutl culture. Through rituals like this, the Kwakiutl explored the concept of transformation, not just as a physical change, but as a spiritual journey where the wearer momentarily takes on the essence of another being. As the loon's call fades into the distance, you might be wondering what other spirits dwell within the shadows of the forest, waiting to blur the lines between reality and myth. In 1914, a Kwakiutl person was captured in a moment that bridges the physical and spiritual realms. Dressed as Nulinkilaka, the bringer of confusion, they embody a spirit of the forest whose very presence is meant to unnerve and disorient. The mask is haunting. Its exaggerated features and oversized hands convey an unsettling blend of human and otherworldly. The figure's pose, with hands raised as if caught mid-gesture, evokes a sense of motion and intention, as if Nulinkilaka is about to unleash the chaos for which it is known. Nulinkilaka's role in Kwakiutl culture is deeply symbolic. This forest spirit is believed to disrupt the natural order, causing confusion and turmoil. Through rituals, the Kwakiutl would invite such spirits to interact with the community, acknowledging the chaotic forces that exist alongside harmony. As we step away from the eerie, unsettling presence of Nulinkilaka, we find ourselves before a symbol of hope and continuity. This next figure embodies the strength and future of her people, carrying the weight of tradition with quiet determination. In 1910, the camera captured a portrait of a Kwakiutl chief's daughter, a figure steeped in cultural significance and future promise. Seated with the solemnity befitting her status, she is draped in a woven blanket that speaks to her community's skill and heritage. Her face, marked by a quiet determination, hints at the responsibilities she carries, not just as a daughter, but as a future leader within her tribe. Her surroundings are just as telling. The bench upon which she sits is adorned with carvings of ancestral spirits, guardians of her people. The towering totems reflect her connection to the past and the weight of tradition on her shoulders. This leads us to another figure, one whose gaze is set not on the future but on the past, as he carries the wisdom and strength of generations before him. Medicine Crow, a distinguished leader of the Apsaroki tribe, was photographed in 1908. Every detail of his appearance tells a story, from the eagle feather atop his head, symbolizing his status as a warrior, to the intricate beadwork on his garment, representing the craftsmanship of his tribe. His expression, set in profile, is one of stoic resolve, as if he is looking beyond the camera, into the distance of history and memory. Medicine Crow's life was one of dedication to preserving the cultural practices and stories of his tribe. As a leader, he was responsible for guiding his people through times of immense change and challenge. His attire, heavy with symbolism, reflects his role as a spiritual and cultural guardian, a bridge between the old ways and the new world that was encroaching upon their lands. From the wisdom and strength of Medicine Crow, we move to a different kind of cultural expression, a dance that is both a celebration and a ritual carried out under the open sky. In this vivid photograph from the early 1900s, a crow dancer is caught mid-motion, his body adorned with vibrant feathers, beads, and animal skins. His posture, slightly bent forward, suggests a moment of intense focus and connection with the earth beneath his feet. The dancer's regalia is more than decorative. It is an integral part of the ritual, designed to invoke the spirits and bring the community together in a shared expression of their identity and beliefs. The Crow people, like many other Native American tribes, used dance as a form of communication with the spiritual world. Each movement, each beat of the drum, was a prayer, a request for guidance, strength, and protection. The dancer's attire, rich with color and texture, is a reflection of the natural world that the Crow people revered and depended upon. As the dust settles from the dancer's powerful steps, a quieter scene awaits, one where hands move with purpose, keeping alive the heartbeat of tradition in a way far less visible, yet equally vital. The photograph taken by Edward S. Curtis in 1906 transports us to a Hopi household, where four women are captured in the midst of grinding grain on a milling trough. The scene is one of quiet industry, the women's bodies bent in concentration, their hands moving rhythmically as they work the stones back and forth. The milling trough, central to Hopi life, is where the daily sustenance of the community begins. The work is both physically demanding and spiritually significant, as the Hopi people believe that the food prepared with care and dedication would nourish not only the body, but also the soul. The women's hairstyles, with hair wrapped in traditional buns, signify their marital status and connection to their cultural heritage. As the steady grinding quiets, another way of life begins to emerge, one where reflection and connection to the earth guide every step. Yet even in this calm, there's a sense that something deeper is waiting to be revealed. Captured in 1910, this photograph offers an intimate glimpse into the daily life of two Piegan men seated within a lodge. The interior, dimly lit yet rich with detail, speaks to a way of life deeply connected to the land and its resources. The men, draped in traditional garments adorned with intricate beadwork, sit amidst their belongings, each item carefully crafted and of significant cultural importance. The air in the lodge is thick with the scent of smoked hides and dried herbs, a sensory reminder of their reliance on the natural world. The lodge itself, constructed from animal hides stretched over a frame of wooden poles, provides shelter from the elements while maintaining a connection to the outside world. The men's expressions are contemplative, as if engaged in a silent dialogue, sharing stories or reflecting on the events of the day. As the fire within the lodge fades, its warmth lingers, drawing us outside where the vibrant energy of a ceremonial dance ignites. In 1905, a camera captured the mesmerizing spectacle of buffalo dancers, their bodies adorned with elaborate feathered headdresses and shields. This ritual, performed by the Pueblo people, is a powerful invocation of the buffalo spirit, a central figure in their cosmology and a symbol of sustenance and survival. The dancers, moving in unison to the beat of drums, embody the strength and grace of the buffalo, their movements mimicking the animal's powerful strides. The feathers, meticulously arranged in circular patterns, are not just decorative. They are conduits of spiritual energy, connecting the dancers to the heavens. The masks, painted with sacred symbols, conceal the dancers' identities, allowing them to become one with the spirit they seek to honor. But the rhythmic power of the buffalo dancers gives way to a more chilling sound, the howl of something far more sinister. In the desert night, shadows stretch across the landscape, and an eerie howl pierces the stillness. The Navajo people call it the howler, a creature that blurs the line between man and beast. Legend tells of a spirit that prowls the wilderness, emerging under a full moon, its cries signaling a coming storm or tragedy. This chilling photo captures the moment Navajo police pursue the entity, their faces hardened by generations of stories passed down about this elusive figure. The details are haunting. A man shrouded in animal skins, his features barely discernible beneath a mask that feels more ancient than human. The creature seems both hunter and hunted, caught in the blurred edge between myth and reality. As the howls fade, we're drawn to a quiet strength, a striking figure, her beauty hiding untold stories. What secrets lie behind her calm gaze? The Flathead Women, captured by Edward H. Booz between 1905 to 1907, embody a quiet strength and connection to their land. Booz, a dedicated photographer of Native American life in Montana, focused much of his work on the Salish, Kootenai, and Pandoral peoples of the Flathead Reservation. Booz was known for developing his photographs directly on site, often under canvas covers, so he could immediately share them with his subjects. This intimate connection between the photographer and the Flathead people allowed him to capture not only their appearance, but also a sense of their enduring spirit and resilience in the face of changing times. In this timeless photograph, a woman stands poised, her profile dignified, wrapped in the symbols of her heritage. The image embodies the quiet strength of her people, their connection to the land, and the traditions that have sustained them for centuries. The beaded headband, the carefully woven garment, each piece speaks of a culture deeply rooted in harmony with nature, in stark contrast to the raw wildness of the Navajo desert. The quiet strength of the Flathead Women reflects their deep connection to the land, but what happens when that bond is tested by forces beyond their control? As we shift our gaze skyward, a new kind of power awaits. The final image in this series brings us to a rocky riverside in Montana, where two pagan men stand in reverent prayer to the Thunderbird, a powerful spirit in their culture believed to control the elements. The men, dressed in traditional garments adorned with fringes and beads, are silhouetted against the rushing waters, their arms raised to the sky in supplication. The Thunderbird, often depicted as a giant bird capable of creating storms with the beat of its wings, is a symbol of strength and protection for the pagan people. By offering prayers at the river's edge, the men are not only seeking the Thunderbird's favor, but also reaffirming their connection to the natural world and the spiritual forces that govern it. The scene is one of profound stillness, broken only by the sound of the water and the quiet murmur of their voices. Thank you for watching. Comment down below which of these photos you found more interesting. Also, if you enjoyed this video, check out this other video right here. And don't forget to subscribe.